You know what scared me was that, see, typically Africans in America typically have a healthy fear of the healthcare system.
Absolutely.
And I know this because I've been in it.
Yes.
And so I've seen where doctors have to go over and over trying to convince a patient to either get a surgery or take a prescription, et cetera, et cetera. And so during the pandemic, the last thing I thought I would see is like commercials of them saying, hey, come get this free donut or
Brother,
this free chicken sandwich.
Come on, Dr. Price.
And then all of a sudden, people line up in droves.
Lines, brother.
And so, like, for me, that was the scariest thing for me. When you consider things like the Tuskegee experiments and all the things that we've had to endure, and all of a sudden, all of that distrust just quickly went out of the window. And I had people, like, at the beginning of the pandemic, I'm putting out information because I had literally just left China. I was in Thailand, China, and then back here. And so I had gotten back a month before everything went.
Ooh.
And so when I get back, I'm like, okay, everybody like, you just came from there? I'm like, yeah, I just came from there. They're like, you need to do a video. This thing is going on. And so I do videos, and then, of course, like, I say something, and then I'm getting thousands of comments.
Yes.
And at the time, I may get 200 comments. Now I'm getting thousands of comments of people just, regurgitating this information that they're seeing on the media. And so for me, like, it was really scary to see us fold that quickly and not ask questions. Because at the end of the day, you can always do whatever it is you want to do with your body, but the most important thing is you have to make informed decisions, and people were just so readily to make an uninformed decision.
I can tell you why, as some of the ingredients as to why it was so seamless and easy, right? How it looked like. How did all of you forget all of this evidence? Tuskegee is just one example, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, so and they like to highlight that example, then attack that example, highlight and attack it all day long, which is very sad. What they did was, one, they went after the churches. So they convinced the churches to believe that if you utilize your spaces, particularly your parking lots, let us use those as mobile vaccination centers. Yeah, this is way back in 2017, then 2018, and even before that, in the field of mental health, they use the churches. And the churches go for the contracts, and they make them believe, hey, Jesus is a part of it. Isn't Jesus a part of mental health? It's very sick to the churches. And shout out to those of you who didn't fall for it.
Yeah.
But they contracted with them, paid them a lot of money, so that when this would happen, they would use their parking lots as places for people to line up. Number one. Number two, they paid these congregations millions of dollars to get in front of their congregation and convince them to take it. You had some church leaders getting up there saying that if Jesus were here right now, he would tell you to get the vaccine. You had people up there, I'm talking about, brother, wolves in sheep's clothing for real, whether if ignorant or intentional. At this point, I would say it the way a police officer in America says, ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law. Well, ignorance is no excuse for selling out your damn people at this point. You can't tell me why I didn't know. No. You should know at this point. So that was one side of it. Number two, they paid a lot of the artists, the celebrities, the athletes to get up here and say this, but they didn't just pay them to say it. They send lobbyists on Capitol Hill to go and pay lots of money to these congresspersons. They sent quote unquote scientists. They sent skewed data, heavily omitted data. No one brought up the Pfizer trial data. No one brought up the Moderna trial data. No one brought up the AstraZeneca trial data. They just said, hey, look at all these papers. It says safe and effective. So a lot of these celebrities and athletes, gullible as hell, ignorant as hell, were told safe and effective. They were told, well, look, here's a representative from here. Who would you like to speak to? They paid their manager. The manager said, hey, look, y'all should read this. So a lot of them genuinely believed. They had good intentions. They wanted to help their people.
I believe that too.
They pulled at the heartstring, brother. And we have to be mindful again. Stop believing that evil doesn't exist. We don't want to confront that because we just want to say, hey, kumbaya, everything is good. Why? Because if evil exists and I acknowledge that it exists, then damn, I'm going to have to do something about it. And I don't feel like doing nothing about it. That's where a lot of them are. They're very uncomfortable because they're very afraid. So that's another thing that happens. So the churches were used, artists and celebrities and athletes were used. Then comes the low-hanging fruit of grabbing our people with the bribery, right? So that was the donuts, crispy, right? So they like you were bringing up. So now you got, hey, come get a free donut, one free glazed donut from Krispy Kreme's, which coincidentally was partially founded by the Nazis, but we're not going to go there, or we may. Krispy Kreme donuts, number one. Number two, in Washington, they were giving you joints for jabs. So they were bribing you with weed. That got a chunk of y'all. Damn. then they were offering alcohol to some people. They were offering free burgers and fries. They were offering free lobster dinners in New Orleans. They were offering, this how bad it got, brother. They were offering certain inmates free conjugal visits. They would let whoever you wanted to come, your lover, whatever, get that one phone call to come in, have sex and all that. They in Europe are offering you free 30 minutes with a prostitute.
Wow.
I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. Since when do they care so much that they're going to offer you all these things for free to take this shot?
Right.
Brother, doesn't sugar help to attack the respiratory system of the body? Indeed. Doesn't it help to lean you into a diabetic circumstance to where you more than likely will lean into a coma circumstance to where you eventually will die?
Yeah.
You're giving them all that sugar. You're giving them all that salt. Please. So it was in stages, degrees, and it was a strategic hit on the people with no evidence. Not one person who attacked you, me, or anybody could name one ingredient in that damn needle. Yeah. They couldn't name an ingredient. They couldn't name the trial data. They couldn't tell you how many people took it. It was safe and effective. How? How many people were in the trial? What was the date of the trial? How did the trial go? They don't even know what a trial is. What is phase one? What's phase? So that's the thing, brother. And my last point I will say is it was not an accident. It was a strategic plan. Yeah. Above all else, it was planned. Yeah. And that's it. We have to be very clear about that before we say, well, hey, it just popped up. It's just a pandemic. No, hell no. War is profitable, and so is a pandemic. Yeah. And they are very well aware of that. That's why now that's the strategy, is the pandemic. The next strategy, of course, is to hit the monetary financial system through the digital realm, because that's going to be the other way to ensnare the people to make them comply next. Another metric of control. Absolutely. Yeah. Man. Oh, it's real, bro. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so like, as we leave off that, the one thing I want to sort of like have people encourage, because I also know that a lot of people did it. Mm-hmm. And now they're like, even if you're not suffering from anything or, no complications, which many people do, I think the most important thing that we should have learned from that experience is that, man, there's nothing above nature. Mm-hmm. And our immune system is capable of fighting absolutely anything if we provide the right environment for it. And I think the most important thing is making an informed choice, and you need to understand where you're getting your information from. Mm-hmm. And there's a book called How to Lie with Statistics.
Oh, yes. One of Bill Gates' favorites.
Yep. Yes. And I think, considering he was one of the advocates. Yes. And I think it's really important to kind of look at all those people who were on the front lines advocating for it, who have now doubled back now. Mm-hmm. And then it's also just really important to understand that when you get in a situation where you're in fear or being sort of fear-mongered into a decision, you need to take some time, get good choices from people who don't have a fiduciary connection with the benefit of you doing something with your health. Yes. So I just think that's really important.
Yeah, make sure they have no financial connections. They don't benefit in any way. Yep. They genuinely are telling you whether, again, if they're for or against something. Yep. That's fine, but become educated. Brother, it is far more difficult for a person to read, to take in ideas, to take time to research now, because we're so bombarded with useless information. So the scrolling all day is numbing the intelligence of the people. Yep. A large percentage of our people, again, are functionally illiterate as well. Yep. That's another thing that we don't talk about. Very, very huge, in the tens of millions, where they're operating in life like everything is cool, but they can't read words on a page. Yeah. My foundation is in literacy. That's how I came up, is working with our people dealing with, who couldn't read and write. So it is a very big thing. That's another chunk, right? Then on the other end, you have people who are very impressionable. Hence, when they paid celebrities and artists and athletes, they knew what they were doing, because a lot of people are just going to go with what their rapper says. Yeah.
Idolatry.
Oh yeah, just worshiping, the idols and personalities. I'm gonna do it because he said it. I'm gonna do it because they said it. Okay, so these are real things now. So we can say, come on, y'all, really, But then again, no, we are in a different realm intellectually, and our experiences in life. We've traveled. We see this enemy. We understand. So we have a deeper maturity when it comes to our intellect, but the masses do not.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people who get out here trying to attack the people, that's what I disagree with.
Yeah.
If you are not going to be able to educate them properly, if you don't have that stamina, right, that intellectual stamina and that patience to understand that there is a real enemy out here,
Yeah.
and our people are impressionable, and you have to educate them first. Then once they know, then hold them accountable.
Yeah.
So you educate them first.
Exactly.
Give them that chance, right, to learn first, and then to acknowledge, okay, I heard what you said. Now they can't say they don't know.
Yep.
Then hold them accountable if they then perpetuate that crap.
Yeah.
Say, no, brother, hold up. We talked last week, bro.
Yeah.
What's going on? Then you can whoop them. Like, hold on, see, now look, hold on, Negro. I done told you. Now you know damn well. Don't get out here abusing the people.
Right.
Right. So, which again, that's when people, it's, brother, just calm down. No, hell no. All right. Like we have to stop being so soft at a certain point when we know our people are being sold out.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if someone looks like us.
Yep.
If you are doing wrong to our people, you must be held accountable. I'm not saying physically yet, but I'm saying because there will come a time for that too. But I'm saying we can't be soft with people who are selling our people out, bro.
And making life decisions.
Yes.
They're selling us out about life decisions.
That will more than likely permanently damage our livelihood. You brought up a couple minutes ago how people who took it, many of them who are becoming aware, because even the mainstream media started to report recently a study of 99 million people who took the SARS-CoV-2 shot have now been connected to increase in myocarditis, neurological disorders, Guillain-Barré syndrome. Mainstream media reported it. Well, now we were reporting it a long time ago and months ago from the trial data. But the people didn't read it. It's a lot of pages, I understand. But a lot of people now, they're like, damn, I really took that. So they're feeling hopeless. Don't feel hopeless, because there are some solutions, which
absolutely
we will be discussing toward the end. But I just wanted to highlight that so that they
100%. And so a lot of people, they see you sitting there, they well, Rizza, you look like you've been informed since you came out the womb, bro. Like,
you're not the first person to say that.
So
that's funny.
And so what I want to do is play God's advocate and let the people know a little bit about you, because again, people probably think you came out of the womb with your fist like this,
man, strong,
with the black fist,
strong.
And so, pumping your back fist and
right.
with a bow tie on.
Yeah, man. Came out with the glasses, shades, and it's funny.
And so, raised by bow tie suited brothers and head wrap goddesses. But I think it's also important to realize is that, you're a person.
Yes, sir.
And you have gone through the full plight of what it means to be an African in America.